Hello everyone, and welcome to my channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. According to General Hospital spoilers, Carly Spencer will make a shocking discovery that may be tied to Cassius Faison, alias Nathan West. Carly has some huge episodes coming up based on GH spoilers for the week of June 29th to July 3rd, so let's chat about what to expect. For starters, Anna Devane has only recently begun work on a significant revelation that will have an impact on Port Charles. Anna knows Nathan isn't who he claims to be, so she immediately told Felicia Scorpio. Although Felicia will be skeptical when Anna likely elaborates and speculates about Nathan's identical brother taking over his life, she will have to explore the possibilities. Anna may have Cassius-related information that Felicia just cannot ignore, especially since Nathan has grown so close to James West. It's evident that the program is poised to move forward with Cassius' major disclosure, so additional story developments will follow soon. On July 1st, Carly will eavesdrop on some information that will startle her. Lucas Jones will be surprised on the same day, so he may overhear or be informed by Carly. If Lucas and Carly proceed with their plan to get into Windmere, they may overhear anything about Cassius abducting Jocelyn Jacks and forcing her into captivity. That might lead to two huge revelations: that Nathan isn't really Nathan, and that his identical brother is the one who locked Jocelyn up. Carly will be in complete shock on July 2nd, so something big will undoubtedly scare her. This false Nathan thing matches the bill, and it could be what pushes Carly to shoot someone on July 3rd. Cassius could be that person after Carly discovers his involvement in holding Jocelyn hostage. According to General Hospital spoilers, Carly and Cassius may square off at some point, so stay tuned. Carly Corinthos Spencer stood motionless in the dimly lit warehouse on the outskirts of Port Charles, her heart beating against her ribs like a battle drum. The air was dense with dust and the metallic flavor of anxiety. A crumpled note from an anonymous source had led her to this location, but nothing could have prepared her for what she saw. Jocelyn Jacks, her fiery, independent daughter who had followed in her footsteps by joining the WSB and chasing danger, was comatose on a makeshift cot, her wrists bound and a bruise growing across her cheek. Cassius, the intriguing and menacing guy whose name had been whispered in Port Charles underworld circles for months, watched over her. Carly's mind whirled. How had things gotten to this? Joss had been looking into leads related to old Cassadine secrets, and a resurfaced threat from the past, possibly including Spoon Island and lingering Faison family vendettas. Carly had warned her and begged her to stay away, but Jocelyn was obstinate, just like her mother. Carly came closer, skirting shadows as the full horror unfurled. Cassius was more than just a kidnapper. He was part of a larger discovery that would rock Carly's assumptions about the people in her life. Nathaniel West. The name hit Carly like a freight train as she pulled together parts from overheard conversations and a file she had stolen earlier. Cassius was not acting alone. Informants said that he was the long-lost twin brother of Nathan West, Detective Nathan West, Maxie Jones' beloved husband, who had been assumed dead but was now linked to this nightmare through bloodlines Carly never anticipated. Nathan's twin? It revealed the strange resemblances in old images, Cassius's silent intensity, the shared past buried in European orphanages, and Caesar Faison-related experimental activities. Nathan had been a hero, a cop fighting for justice. Cassius had taken a darker path, warped by the same powers that had plagued the Cassadines for generations. Carly's hands shook as she took out her phone and dialed the only person she trusted in a situation like this: Lucas Jones, her brother, the dependable doctor whose medical abilities and comm strength had saved countless lives in Port Charles. Lucas picked up on the second ring, his voice full of alarm. "Carly? What's happening?" "Lucas, this is Joss. You sound off. Cassius has her. I'm at the old warehouse by the docks. I need you immediately. Bring any medical supplies you can find discreetly. And Lucas, there is more. It is about Nathan. He has a twin. I think Cassius is him," Carly blurted out, her throat still raw from astonishment. Lucas did not hesitate. As a doctor at General Hospital, he'd witnessed his fair share of Port Charles pandemonium, from shootings to unusual poisons. But a family in danger was altogether different. He was Jocelyn's uncle, connected by the convoluted Spencer Corinthos connection, and he adored her. Grabbing a kit from his locker, he snuck out of the hospital, his heart racing. On the way over, memories rushed him. Joss as a tiny girl with her brilliant smile, blossoming into a young woman who defied all norms, just like Carly. And Nathan? Lucas knew him well and had worked with him at times of crisis. The dual surprise revealed unanswered mysteries, such as why certain leads in past cases went cold. Meanwhile, in the warehouse, Carly moved closer to Jocelyn. Cassius turned, his gaze narrowing in the dim light. He was larger and more rugged than Nathan, with a scar over his jaw that conveyed a story of survival. "I'm Carly Corinthos. I should have known you'd be poking around. Your daughter came too close to the truth about the Phazon project. Spoon Island contains more than ghosts, it contains legacies." Carly's voice sounded steely. "Let her go, Cassius. Whatever animosity you have, it isn't against Joss." Cassius laughed angrily. "She's just a kid looking for justice." "Justice?" Nathan also pursued that. "My brother, the Golden Boy, was adopted into a better life, while I withered in the dark. Phazon's experiments did not produce just one hero. They divided us. He received the badge, the wife, and the esteem. I got the rage." His confession was a torrent of resentment. Nathan West, it appeared, had a twin separated at birth, concealed by the same insane technology that produced so many Port Charles baddies. Cassius was reared in secrecy, trained as an operative, and now sought vengeance on the family that survived without him. Jocelyn moved, grumbling. Her eyes flew open, focusing onto her mother. "Mom, ring. I left a ring for Lucas. At Sidwell's place. He'll discover it." Her voice sounded soft but firm. Even when apprehended, Joss was cunning, leaving clues such as the ring Lucas recognized from family gatherings. A simple band etched with the Spencer family motto. Carly's rescue attempt became frantic as footsteps echoed. Lucas burst in, equipment in hand, and assessed the situation immediately. "Joss! Carly, cover me." He dashed to his niece's side, checking vital signs while she approached Cassius. A battle erupted with Carly, no stranger to violent fighting from her Mafia Queen days, swinging a loose pipe and clipping Cassius' shoulder. Lucas labored hard to stabilize Jocelyn's concussion and dehydration. "She needs a hospital, but we can't risk moving her through the front if more of them show up." The double discovery was weighty. Cassius spit more truths while being briefly bound. Nathan believed he was exceptional, but I saw from a distance his relationship with Maxie, the children. I could have had it. Instead, I'm the darkness. Carly reeled, connecting dots from previous events. Inexplicable attacks, WSB file dumps, and even links to Valentine Cassidy's actions. Nathan's twin was still alive, which changed everything. Maxie would be crushed, and the Jones family would be more fractured. Escape was not clean. As Cassius' associates came, a silent alarm sounded and gunfire erupted. Bullets ricocheted against the metal beams. Lucas guarded Jocelyn and dragged her to a side exit, while Carly gave cover fire with a discarded firearm. "Go! Get her to the Jeep!" Carly exclaimed, her shoulder grazing a bullet. Pain erupted, but adrenaline propelled her forward. They crowded into Lucas' car, with Jocelyn in the back and Carly giving pressure to her wound. Sirens wailed in the distance, possibly Dante or Jason responding to a tip. Staff flocked to General Hospital. Portia Robinson assumed leadership of the ER, with Lucas aiding despite his tiredness. "She's stable, but it was close," Portia added. Carly dropped into a chair, blood stains on her clothes, her thoughts reeling from the twin shocker. The news spread like wildfire across Port Charles. Maxie Jones burst into tears in the hospital waiting area after learning Cassius' true identity. Did Nathan have a twin? All this time, her world crumbled anew, thoughts of her late husband colliding with this malevolent mirror. Sonny Corinthos arrived, promising muscle and resources, his relationship with Carly drawing him into the conflict. Jason Morgan, ever the guardian, swore to track down any residual threats related to Sidwell and the Phazon remnants. Lucas and Carly huddled in a secluded area, both reeling. "I botched parts of the rescue," he said. "If I'd recognized the ring clue earlier." Carly clasped his palm. "We got her out. That is what matters. But this twin is Nathan's brother. It's going to rip apart old wounds." Jocelyn awoke hours later, bandaged but determined. "I knew you were coming, Mom. Uncle Lucas, too." Mother and daughter exchanged an emotional embrace, their love unshakable despite years of disagreements over Joss' risky work. Carly thought on her own background, raising Joss in the midst of mob battles, losses such as Morgan's death, and constant reinventions. This kidnapping served as a wake-up call. She couldn't protect her children from everything, but she was willing to die trying. The investigations deepened. Cassius was caught, but he indicated at greater players, possibly Valentine or ongoing WSB corruption. The twin stunner triggered DNA tests, which confirmed the link and sent shockwaves. Maxie paid Cassius a visit in jail, hoping to find closure, while Lucas struggled with his own family ties. As Bobby Spencer's son, he felt the weight of the Spencer legacy, resilience in the midst of chaos. Days blurred into recovery. Carly addressed her choices, and her association with figures like Valentine for intel became riskier. She and Lucas debriefed with Anna Devane, piecing together how Cassius kidnapped Joss following a confrontation on Spoon Island. Joss had discovered documents detailing Faison's research, including the twin separation. Cassius wanted her quiet to safeguard his retribution plan against those who stole his life. Port Charles was buzzing with speculation. At Kelly's diner, folks whispered. Sonny met with Carly, and their shared parenting background provided comfort. "We'll keep fighting for our kids," he stated. Lucas, meantime, reunited with pals such as Brad Cooper, seeking refuge in normalcy amidst the storm. But danger lurked. Cassius's network was not completely eliminated. Carly received a menacing note at her door that read, "Twins share more than blood. Watch your back." Jocelyn, who was healing at home, trained harder, determined not to be another victim. Carly managed her position at Crimson with her personal life, relying on Lucas for support. Their sibling bond developed as he reminded her of Bobby's strength. In quiet moments, Carly looked at old images of Nathan West, noticing echoes in Cassius's expression. The surprise revealed anomalies, such as why certain criminals eluded capture, and how investigators shared intuition. It helped to humanize the monster but did not justify the abduction. Justice would be served Port Charles style, with alliances, confrontations, and possibly unexpected redemption storylines. Jocelyn's rescue, albeit frightening, drew the family closer. Carly hosted a celebration at her house, Lucas by her side, and Joss laughed faintly with pals Trina and Cam. The dual revelations would reverberate for months, with Maxie seeking answers, possible storylines for the Jones family, and increased security around WSB operations. Carly stood on her balcony one night, watching the city lights twinkle. The rescue had been messy, since survival was never guaranteed in their environment. But they had persevered. Lucas joined her and handed her coffee. "We make a good team, sis." She smiled. "Yeah, and we will withstand whatever comes next. For Joss. For all of us." The story of Nathan's twin revealed fresh chapters, romances tested, vendettas reignited, and heroes formed in fire. In Port Charles, where the youthful and restless hearts beat to soap opera rhythms, Carly Corinthos Spencer refused to let shadows rule. Jocelyn was safe and the family was reunited, but the twin shocks meant the drama was far from over. Whispers of more siblings, covert experiments, and Cassius' possible escape kept everyone on edge. Throughout it all, love and loyalty triumphed, as they usually did in General Hospital's stormy stories. Carly refuses to believe that someone would be so bold as to target her kid directly, but each passing minute reinforces the terrifying reality. Phone calls go unanswered, texts go unread, and those closest to Jocelyn notice peculiar aspects in the hours leading up to her abduction. The knowledge puts Carly into a frenzy, but instead of breaking down, she channels all of her determination into locating Jocelyn before it's too late. Jason instantly steps in to assist. He knows Carly better than nearly anyone else, and he knows she will never sit back while her daughter's life is in jeopardy. They begin recreating Jocelyn's final steps, interviewing friends, reviewing surveillance footage, and looking for any hint that might disclose where Cassius has taken her. Meanwhile, Anna senses that something much bigger is happening beneath the surface. The evidence does not suggest a random kidnapping. Every step is meticulously prepared, implying that Cassius has spent weeks preparing for this moment. Anna advises everyone involved that they could be dealing with someone who has planned every potential response from police authorities. As the investigation progresses, Sonny gets overwhelmed by guilt. He can't stop worrying if one of his foes has once again put his family in danger. Determined to set things right, Sonny activates every contact he has in Port Charles and beyond. His accomplices begin hunting for warehouses, abandoned buildings, secluded cabins, and hidden properties that may be linked to Cassius. While the adults search for solutions, Jocelyn refuses to give up. Instead of succumbing to terror while trapped in a strange environment, she diligently analyzes her surroundings. Every discussion, every sound, and every minor detail becomes a possible opportunity. She recognizes that her ability to remain calm and outthink her captor may be the only way she survives long enough to escape. Cassius remains frustratingly unpredictable. Sometimes he appears calm and collected, as if everything is part of a bigger plan. Other times, angry outbursts reveal how dangerous he truly is. His cryptic statements suggest that Jocelyn herself may not be the main objective. Instead, Cassius is intent to send a catastrophic message to Carly and everyone associated with her. Just as the search is at its most frantic, another bombshell hits Port Charles. A mystery man arrives with information that will change everything. At first glimpse, everyone assumes he is Nathan, whose return would be impossible to accept. However, subtle discrepancies quickly surface, prompting Anna, Maxie, and countless others to wonder who this stranger truly is. The prospect becomes impossible to dismiss. Could this man be Nathan's previously undisclosed identical twin? The revelation spreads through Port Charles like wildfire. Those who knew Nathan experience intense emotions, while investigators instantly ask if this mystery arrival has any link to Cassius and Jocelyn's disappearance. Maxie feels contradictory emotions unlike anything she has ever felt before. Seeing someone with Nathan's face brings up memories she thought she had learned to cope with. But deep down, she knows this is not the man she lost. Despite his same appearance, his demeanor, mannerisms, and emotional reactions indicate a quite different life. Carly first ignores the stunning revelation as an unwelcome diversion. Her only priority remains to save Jocelyn. However, Jason begins to notice strange connections between the mystery twin and other recent events involving Cassius. Small irregularities eventually turn into patterns that cannot be ignored. Anna begins a parallel investigation into the stranger's identity. Birth records, medical data, and decades-old documents reveal long-buried secrets that someone worked hard to keep hidden. Every new finding raises more questions and provides few definite answers. Jocelyn is still looking for ways to get away. She secretly memorizes security procedures, discovers weak places in the building, and quietly collects anything that might be beneficial. Despite her anxiety, she refuses to let Cassius see it, knowing that psychological strength is just as vital as physical courage. Trina refuses to stay on the sidelines. Despite repeated warnings from those attempting to protect her, she joins the search for her best friend, believing he is still alive. Her instincts lead investigators to an ignored witness whose testimony delivers the first true breakthrough since Jocelyn's disappearance. The witness remembers seeing a strange vehicle leave the scene shortly before Jocelyn vanished. Security cameras along the route reveal fragmented images, allowing police to identify one possible Cassius-related destination. Jason doesn't waste any time recruiting a rescue team. Sonny insists on joining, despite worries that his presence may complicate everything. Carly protests with both men, begging to be involved, but Jason persuades her that staying behind may give Jocelyn a greater chance of surviving the rescue mission. Cassius feels increasingly uneasy inside the hideout. He understands that authorities are approaching closer than intended. Instead of fleeing immediately, he makes an unexpected action that implies his goals go beyond snatching Jocelyn. During one tense confrontation, Cassius explains that several recent occurrences in Port Charles have been intricately linked from the outset. The kidnapping is just one part of a much wider plot involving vengeance, betrayal, and hidden family secrets. Meanwhile, the mystery twin begins to reveal parts of his own background. He was raised far from Port Charles and claims to have only lately discovered of Nathan's existence. Although Anna is doubtful, she cannot entirely disregard his claim because certain elements correspond to sensitive documents that are not available to the general public. Maxie gradually observes genuine kindness in the stranger, which reminds her of Nathan while without making him feel like a replacement. She struggles with the emotional complexity of accepting someone who looks just like the man she loved, while also realizing they are completely different people. Back at the hideout, Jocelyn finally sees an opportunity to strike back. Using her wits rather than physical might, she creates a distraction that temporarily throws Cassius off guard. The unexpected maneuver enables her to send a delicate signal, which eventually reaches the rescue squad. Jason detects the signal immediately. Realizing they may only have one shot, the team conducts a meticulously planned operation to reach Jocelyn before Cassius can flee. The argument becomes one of the most tense scenes Port Charles has seen in years. Cassius refuses to surrender peacefully, putting everyone in a perilous standoff where every decision has life or death repercussions. Carly arrives right as the crisis reaches its emotional peak. Seeing her daughter alive but afraid gives her immense relief, but the danger is far from ended. Cassius makes one more desperate move before Jason intervenes. Jocelyn is finally set free after a long fight. Carly holds her daughter, unable to fight back tears after fearing she might never see her again. Sonny observes softly from a distance, relieved that his family has weathered another heartbreaking tragedy. Although Cassius is eventually apprehended, the narrative is far from over. His final warning implies that strong people stay concealed in the shadows, controlling events from behind the scenes. His arrest may have answered one mystery while revealing many more. The appearance of Nathan's mysterious sibling has also sparked doubts in Port Charles. DNA testing, secretive investigations, and unexpected family revelations promise even bigger surprises in the coming weeks. Some residents welcome the newcomer cautiously, while others believe he cannot be trusted. Carly's encounter alters everything. Nearly losing Jocelyn reminds her how delicate life is and how fast everything she values might vanish. She becomes even more protective than before, desperate not to let another enemy come close to harming her family. Jocelyn emerges stronger than before. Surviving the terrible situation challenges her to confront concerns she never dreamed she would face, while also demonstrating her strength, fortitude, and tenacity. Rather than letting the kidnapping define her, she decides to move forward while exposing everyone still working with Cassius. As Port Charles tries to recover from the disaster, one reality becomes impossible to ignore. Hidden identities, family secrets, and dangerous foes continue to lie beneath the surface, guaranteeing that the following chapter is just as exciting as the previous one. It remains to be seen whether the mysterious twin becomes a trusted ally or an unanticipated threat, but one thing is certain. The ramifications from Carly's astonishing revelation and Jocelyn's kidnapping will have long-term consequences for almost everyone involved with General Hospital.